A Defenseless Creature by Anton Chekhov. In the heart of the enchanting town of Mistwood, there stood a grand building known as the Mistwood Bank, where townsfolk would go to keep their gold coins safe. The manager of this bank was Mr. Khrushchev, a man who took great pride in his very important job. One stormy day, when the wind was howling like the wolves in the whispering woods, a woman named Mrs. Popov marched into the bank. She was wrapped in a shawl as gray as the clouds above, and her eyes sparkled with determination. "Good day, Mr. Khrushchev," she said with a nod. "I need your help. My dear husband, who danced with the stars last winter, left some gold here. I must find it to feed our little kittens at home." Mr. Khrushchev, busy as a beaver with papers and coins, barely looked up. "Madam, if you have no paper to show, I cannot help you. Rules are rules in the Bank of Mistwood." But Mrs. Popov wouldn't budge. She visited the bank every day, each time with wild tales and papers that fluttered like leaves in the breeze. "See here," she'd say, waving them about. "A letter from a cousin twice removed, a note from my neighbor who is a wise old owl, and a receipt from the baker who makes pies as sweet as summer." Mr. Khrushchev sighed deeply, his patience wearing as thin as the last leaf of autumn. "Madam, these papers mean little without the right documents. Please, I have other matters to attend to." Yet, Mrs. Popov's spirit was as unyielding as the mighty oaks in the whispering woods. One day, she arrived with a crowd of townsfolk, her voice ringing out like the morning bells. "Good people of Mistwood, I ask for justice. The gold my husband left is ours by right and need." Touched by her plight and her unwavering resolve, the townsfolk murmured their support. Mr. Khrushchev felt the weight of their stares, as heavy as the iron safe in the corner. Finally, with a heart as heavy as the leaden sky, Mr. Khrushchev, exasperated and overwhelmed by Mrs. Popov's relentless pursuit and the townsfolk's murmurs, declared, "Mrs. Popov, there are no records of any gold left by your husband. Please, let us find peace from this matter." Mrs. Popov, undeterred and her spirit unbroken, vowed to continue her fight, reminding everyone that the quest for justice and truth, no matter how daunting, must go on. Anton Chekhov shows us how power can sometimes be misused, creating conflicts between those at the top and those at the bottom of society. Through the character of Mrs. Popov, Chekhov highlights the struggles of the less powerful as they try to make their voices heard. Despite her actions sometimes seeming unreasonable or even comical, they shed light on the contradictions within the structures of our society. The end.